All right, let's now get you some breaking news that's come in, where the Pentagon has apparently summoned the military officials from around the world for a gathering in Virginia. And according to Washington Post, even the top generals and their staff at this moment apparently don't know the reason for this meeting. Now, according to reports, the highly unusual directive was sent to virtually all of the military's top commanders worldwide. The directive was issued earlier this week as a government shutdown looms. And the Trump administration had earlier announced plans to undertake a sweeping consolidation of top military commands. There are about 800 generals and admirals spread across the United States and dozens of other countries and time zones. The unprecedented order applies to all senior officers with the rank of the brigadier general or above, or their naval equivalent, serving in command positions, and their top enlisted advisors. Now, typically, these officers each oversee hundreds or thousands of rank-and-file troops. All right, now joining us on the broadcast, we've got our correspondent Susan Tehrani. Susan, what are we to make of this latest development that's been put out there?
So I have some bullet points here that I want to read for you, Mohammed. Sources say that they cannot recall a defense secretary calling so many flag officers together at once. Concerns raised about security risks of pulling generals from global command zones simultaneously is also something that these generals are talking about. Frustration also noted that commanders overseas must leave posts with no explanation of agenda. As you mentioned, they still don't know the context. It does come as a looming government shutdown. It also comes as Hexit, as you may recall, has already ordered about a 20% reduction in multiple senior leaders, including many women and service chiefs, and pushed to rebrand the Pentagon as the Department of War. So not much we know about it, but it is very unprecedented, and also raises concerns about what is it that the United States knows and needs at this time that it's pulling so many generals from around the world and their posts.
Indeed, we'll have to wait and watch as to what this summing up has been for. Thank you very much indeed, Susan Tehrani, for joining us with those updates then.
America looks like it's preparing for war right now, and what's happening behind closed doors should terrify every foreign government watching. The Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, just issued the most unprecedented military order in decades, pulling nearly 800 of our top generals and admirals from combat zones around the world for an emergency meeting at Quantico this week. We're talking about commanders overseeing active operations being yanked from their posts with almost no notice, all while Russia threatens to formally declare war on NATO and Venezuela is conducting military exercises aimed directly at the United States. The War Department will not say what this crisis meeting is about, but the timing could not be more dangerous. The cover-up, it's even worse. Are we looking at the beginning of World War III, or is this something that changes everything? So tell me in the comments, what do you guys think is really happening? Because this story is literally getting worse. So my name is Tom. I'm with the Daily Beltway. I'm also publisher of the Illinois Review and a White House correspondent for the Next News Network. And we are a growing channel, and every like, comment, and subscription helps us grow. I'm going to start off with that this isn't normal, guys. When you pull 800 brigadier generals and above from their command posts, including combat zones, you better have a damn good reason. And the order came down Tuesday, calling every top commander to Quantico, Virginia, for what the War Department spokesman Sean Parnell refuses to explain. All we know is that it excludes staff officers, focusing only on operational commanders and their top enlisted advisors. But the timing of this emergency meeting becomes absolutely chilling when you hear what Russia's foreign minister just said about NATO. Check this out.
Working on the basis of principles enshrined in the UN Charter, taken in full comprehensively with due regard how they're interrelated, is a way of laying the groundwork for the progressive development of all states without exception, large and small. Refusing to comply with the Charter's principles is an expression of neocolonial ambitions, leading to the rise of global instability, multiplication of regional conflicts. A key example of this is the Ukraine crisis, which was provoked by the collective West. And we also, of course, know the history of colonialism in Africa, where borders were drawn up arbitrarily without any concern for nationality confession. And back to Ukraine, NATO and the EU have basically declared war on my country and are partaking it directly.
So that was Russia's top diplomat claiming NATO has already declared war on them during recent alliance meetings. And think about that timing. We're pulling our military leadership from home while Putin's regime claims already at war with us. German General Carsten Brewer warned months ago that Russia could attack NATO's ballistic missile sites by 2029, maybe sooner. They're cranking out 1,500 battle tanks every year and stockpiling them for something big. So what do you guys think Putin's real plan is here? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this feels like chess moves before a major escalation. Meanwhile, down south in Venezuela launched 3 days of military exercises directly responding to our strikes on their alleged drug boats. And Venezuela just declared war on the United States, so I don't know. And President Trump fired back on Truth Social, saying that violent drug trafficking cartels pose threats to our national security and vital interests. But here's what nobody's talking about. The Trump administration might be preparing to formally declare war on the cartels themselves. And think about that, folks. You don't pull 800 commanders for a routine briefing about white stuff smuggling. Obviously. Hegseth has been cleaning house since day one and as Secretary of War. He fired Air Force General C.Q. Brown, dismantled all the DEI programs, and pushed the rebranding from the Defense Department to the War Department. And this guy, he means business about getting back to mission-first priorities. But concentrating 800 senior leaders in one spot, like that's historically been avoided because it creates a massive vulnerability. And this is where it all changes. Military families are in the dark about why their commanders got sudden orders to get to Virginia. Our enemies are watching every move, and this unprecedented gathering screams either imminent crisis response or major strategic shift. So do you guys think this is about Russia, NATO, cartels, or something? I don't know. I think it's about the cartels. Let me know what you guys are seeing because this War Department silence is deafening. And if our adversaries interrupt our leadership absence as weakness, they might make moves that we're not prepared for. So if you got value from this update, please tap subscribe. My opinion is next. So here's what I really think is happening with this situation. I think that we need to trust the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, and President Trump, and they know exactly what they're doing. America has always led through strength, and this administration understands that better than anybody else. With everything happening globally, there must be a good reason for this meeting that's classified way above anybody's security clearance. This could be planning for multiple theater operations, coordinating cartel warfare, or even a mass firing of the remaining holdovers. I mean, like, who knows? But we do know is operational security is being followed perfectly. And whatever strategic discussions are happening at Quantico will not get intercepted by foreign intelligence assets. So no matter what challenges our republic faces, American military strength will always lead the way forward. So trust the process, trust our leadership, and remember that strength deters weakness every single time. Our enemies respect power, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Although it's a little worrying, gotta have faith.